Hey everybody, welcome back. We are doing another Marvel Future Revolution video, and this time it's about the Korean showcase, but mainly we're going to be looking at some live gameplay. We're going to be looking at skill stuff, a lot of stuff that we have not seen before. And I will say that I was already pretty excited for this game. The stuff that I am seeing more and more is making me more and more excited, to the point I'm like, I need to contain myself until I actually get my hands on this. I'm like trying to find every single excuse to think this game's not going to be awesome. There's something that's going to be wrong with it. What is it going to be? I don't know. So anyway, we're going to look at some of this stuff. There's another, I was shooting this on in the States on June 28th, right after the live stream event. We'll cover some of the main things that you might have missed. And then again, I mentioned in my other video that there's another event tomorrow that you'll want to check out that is in English if that is your native language. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. Follow along for the content, as well as we're going to give a giveaway as we get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you want to be enrolled in that, all you got to do is comment below. Pretty simple, right? And then subscribe to help us get closer. You want to hammer down on the like button to help the YouTube algorithm. I love you and think about you even a little bit more special in that giveaway. I don't know, whatever. Let's just check out this video and see what we got.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okie dokie. All right. So first, you know, it just kind of is cool. I wanted to show this because I thought their Netmarble, I don't know if this is their office in Korea, but the way it's set up is just sweet. They got all these statues. I really wanted to show this because I was just like, this is sick. Obviously, they've got a bunch of gaming stations that look like on tablets or something here. I just loved this. I don't even know what this room was, but I thought it was so neat that I kind of just wanted to throw it into the start of this video because it's dope. Honestly, not much more to it. So then it goes into, so I like this part where it's actually, most people are probably used to seeing this in the MCU type movies, but apparently Marvel Future Fight was the first one to do that, just as an FYI. So Marvel Future Revolution adds some pretty cool. Now this part, this was, they had this like convergence that talked about the gameplay. It was specific to how the story starts. So I'm just going to let this play. You could see a lot of decent stuff in there. You know, again, MODOK's in there. We know he's a boss. I personally really dug it. It was really, you know, I don't know. I always am a sucker for, you know, the story in something. So that kind of keeps me, you know, wanting to go. And this definitely had it in there. So, you know, you see Spidey, there's some people running around, just stuff falling everywhere. Hank Pym, I believe that was actually Red Goblin, which we know is a villain there's this villain spotlight. So I'm pretty sure that's him. Boss fights. And then it just shows some of the characters kind of running throughout this thing, which is, again, this looks, I mean, this is a cinematic. This is not necessarily gameplay, which is fine. This is just your entry thing. It's just something to kind of get you hyped. Makes me think, all right, Vision's probably not going to be playable in the game. Fine, no big deal. There are a lot of heroes that we can play in this thing, but very, very cool looking. I was definitely happy to see that. Super stoked. Let's see. And then as we went, it was just kind of a zoom in. They talked for a little bit. And this is the part where they kind of just showed some footage of the game. They zoom in on the the screen a little bit. This is not the live game footage yet. I'll point that out when we get there. This is just showing some, again, just some different like story, worldviews, different things that you're going to see in this game. Probably how you're going to kind of pick how you go about. There's going to be some flybys here. There's some different ones that we got previously. So this is going to be Hydra, the Hydra area. You can see all of the different AI just kind of placed throughout here. You're probably gonna have to fly through here, fight them. You can see a fight in this section. Spider-Man put some webs up. Again, pulling up over to a Red Skull statue. I just like the view. This is Midgardia, so everything with Thor. As Guardians, you see Captain America here jumping around, getting ready to fight some stuff. Something's going down here. All the Asgardian armies fighting around. Some gigantic AI here that you're going to have to probably get through to get to a different area. And this is New Stark City. You kind of through here, there's this Pegasus tech. We've talked about that in some other videos. Again, you'll see I think the Outriders are in this area. That you got to fight them and probably drive them out. They probably show up every once in a while and just kind of knock them out. There's Avengers Tower there in the background. Then we get Xanderth. You're going to get Thanos' ship kind of at the end of this. Actually, this might be where the Outriders are coming from. I'm not sure who's in. And this is Sakaar. We've seen this before. We get a big beast that jumps up here shortly. Just kind of pops up there. So that's going to be interesting. Like, is that some sort of boss or something, or mini boss? It just, I mean, again, these are the type of things that we're used to seeing. Nothing crazy there yet. Again, we're going to get some gameplay. So here's some characters. This is kind of like your Omega Flight, where you're going to kind of convene, maybe like your home base. You can see some costumes there. Again, the costumes in this are just straight up sick in my mind. Captain America, another Captain America, which is dressed as U.S. Agent. Looks like a Black Widow, Doctor Strange. I love the Scarlet Spidey hoodie. I mean, almost want to play Spider-Man just for that. I love this Storm costume. The costumes, we'll get to this in a little bit as well. Just disgustingly looking good. They're going through that again. We saw some of this the other day. Captain America just showing, I mean, look at, I don't know, the high res of this is just, I don't know. I'm smiling. I can't help it. They're going through Captain America, Spider-Man. Again, looking good. There's some costume spotlights. We'll check that stuff out later. Again, Iron Man. We know these characters are in game, but this is some of the stuff they were showing. Again, we'll get to the live gameplay here in a bit. Just kind of got to let it play through. Storm. We saw some of this, I think, in her spotlight as well. They're just taking little mini snippets from these. We'll get more tomorrow's word. Doctor Strange. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot on him and Captain Marvel quite yet, but that's fine. I'm debating playing actually one of the two of them. I know even Black Widow, I'm sure she's difficult to play, so I'm kind of like, all right, maybe play her because she could be like super OP. I don't know. I'm sure they're each going to be OP in their own right. Obviously got some Star-Lord there. And here's Captain Marvel. Just, you see that power kind of like emulated for hands. Black Widow, we saw this a little bit. And I think, is this when it goes into the customization for the costumes? I think it might be. Yeah, you can see they're just going through it real slow. Okay, no, this is the battle part. So they definitely went through some different game modes as well, which I'm like super happy for. You can still see in the background. This is kind of how they showed it, how they were talking. You could see stuff off to the side here. And it was still worthwhile to watch some of this because you could see some things that we hadn't seen before. Not a lot. A lot of it was cinematographics. That I just made that word up. I'm going to run for mayor of Word Destruction Town. It's not a word either. So here was another cutscene. So these were the battles. Here's some Iron Man shots. Again, just looking pretty fly. That's actual gameplay. We've seen some of this. I don't know if you guys have seen all of it, but Spidey coming in. This is gameplay here. I'm still going to be looking some other gameplay that was the part that I was most excited about. Storm. Again, gameplay. And then Star-Lord. We saw some of this was a little new, which I liked. And here's Black Widow. I just love how she zips around a little bit. And then Doctor Strange. Now this was new. So if you were thinking about playing him, you can see some of his abilities. Got a little teleport there. Love it. And then, of course, Captain Marvel. This was new as well. See her popping people up and just... Yeah. I mean, it just looks crazy. And we're still... and this is, again, this isn't even the gameplay I'm talking about yet. We're going to get to that. So we'd seen that before where it was just kind of a... end of the cinematographic... or the cinematographic. Yeah, I can't see. Okay, so this is the part where we're going to see some gameplay. Now, I just want you to look at this. Look at the screen in the background. All right? I'm going to zoom in, make this a little bigger. As big as I can here, okay? Okay, so again, watch the screen. Now, it's a little bit in the background, but you'll see that, like, it seems very, very smooth. These are some of the things that I was really worried about when I was first looking at it, and I'm like, this actually looks pretty good. Like, it zooms around a little bit. It's showing it. Now, the UI is not on it at the moment. Again, more gameplay. It seems very, very smooth. Very happy. Now, before I get into this next part, if you're worried about the UI on your screen, what I'll tell you is you should think about, look into a Bluetooth controller if you're going to play on a tablet or a phone or anything like that. So if you are actually worried about what that's going to be like, then that's my recommendation for you, okay? All right, so now this part here, we're actually getting some like skill tree stuff. That was the teaser for this part. So you can see a little bit of these skills are just clicking through them, showing what they do. And you're like, oh, cool, he's got 5 skills. But there's going to be more to this, okay? And you can see that all looks like it builds up in energy. There's like some sort of energy bars on that you can use every so often. The awesome part here is what's coming up next, where it's going to show this. So you're going to get like individual skill trees, and you can see, like, you can't really see me, I'm blocking myself here, but you know, I immediately was like, ooh, what do we have here? So look, we don't understand what these all say, but you'll see them select a certain node, pick one on this one, and then pick one on this one. And the way this is set up is it's almost like a skill tree, I understand, that it will help you make Iron Man be a little bit more customizable for how you might want to play him. Maybe he stuns more, maybe he's more of a controller, maybe he's more of a DPS, something along those lines. Now, we'll see what they say tomorrow exactly, but that's the way I'm understanding and interpreting this. And again, here's another word. They go through it again. And when I looked at this, all of these are the same. They weren't like actually rotating to be different. They seem to be the same. So I think you still have, 12 different options here, within, or 4 within each one. And then, you've got 1 and then 4, a set of 4. And then within that subset of 4, you've got another subset of 4. So that will give you the versatility of the character a little bit. I'm sure some of these abilities might be more OP than others. Who knows? That's the way these things normally end up shaking out, is as you play them, you figure out an ability that's a bit better. As these costumes kind of go in the background, you guys have seen a lot of these. I'm not going to pause it through this. Again, the costumes are disgustingly good. I'm loving them. You see this is the part that's a little bit new, where it flips through it a little bit faster. You're seeing a lot of the different versions. The part you're going to see here that I think is cool in a little bit is how you can customize each certain piece, like a torso, an arm piece, shoes, head, hair. You can make them all different with it. You don't have to be just Hydra Captain America. Maybe you want to be a Hydra torso with Stark City arms or whatever. I mean, you can just get crazy if you really want to. And you're going to see that here with Black Widow. It's going to start here with just her hand, and you can see her hair starts changing at the same time. Then the shoes, and showing different things there. So it's showing how flexible it is in that regard, which is nice. This is again showing shoes. I love these sneakers, by the way, that pop up. And I hope I can see those in game. That'll be pretty sick. Again, it's going to show, it's just changing the torso right now. So that gives you a flexibility on what that shows. Storm, different headpieces. You want the mohawk, but the old school X-Men, yellow. All right, you're going to get that. So that part, again, very, very big. Now this part is one of the bigger reveals as well, where it's talking about the actual content of the game, the different game modes. Obviously, unless you can read Korean, and maybe some of you guys can, you can see this here, but it actually goes through a couple of the game modes on the screen, which I was a big fan of seeing, because it's starting to lay out what we got. This is just talking about the villains that you could face. That's all this is really showcasing. It goes through Ultron, Red Skull, Thanos, Kingpin, etc. And I think, yeah, there's even the more futuristic one. And it shows your team of 4 kind of going against these guys. These are convergence engines that you're looking to defend. So these are like little mini missions. I don't know if I call them, there's a game mode called Special Ops. So it looks like kind of like a boss fight type thing. Again, all of these little co-op things are along these lines. So now this is a specific look. So you've got to go in there with your 4 people, save a bunch of people. It's like a special mission or special operation. So expect yourself to go in there, do these missions, save people. Now this part, it's like, all right, what's going on here? 10 versus 10? Is that what we're seeing here? Is that what we're seeing? It's like, okay, and that's exactly what it is. You can see there that it's 10 versus 10, and there's these crystals that are in the middle that you're basically fighting for. You can go here and see them, and it's kind of in like a central arena on this 10v10, which I think is great. You just go in there and watch this fight. I mean, and again, this is actual gameplay. This is how someone was choosing to turn their camera and run around. I mean, you have got to be like... I really hope this comes to PC too. Like, I need to get a tablet to play on this. It just looks... I mean, I'm glad I've got, a little bit bigger screen on my phone, because I mean, if you have a smaller screen, bigger's definitely better on this one. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? Now here's another one. It's like, what's going on here? Now we teased this a little bit before about a battle royale, and again, see all the different colors. I mean, it's just like, all right, so you go in here, and I think they go on a sky view again, bird's eye view. Yeah, so it goes to the map, and you can see 4 different teams and there's 4 different bosses that they're going to fight. They go hit them up, and it just shows them on the different screens. That's what they're doing. They're fighting their bosses, whatever. They got to take them down, and then it's going to turn into a big boss that everybody converges on. But notice here, the thing I want you to notice. Now there's Laufey. We've seen that villain spotlight before. So they all converge on the boss, and you're thinking, oh, cool, they all work together to take this main boss out. But watch here in a second. Is this it? Yeah, see Captain America and Iron Man fighting here? See them fighting? PvE, PvP. One more time. PvE, VP. Right? That's what we're getting here. You're getting a PvE and a PvP environment wrapped into one. In these dark zone areas. Looks dope. Pretty insane. And then it looks like there's a little ranking that goes out there. I'll rewind that for just a second so you can actually see that. Now, again, I don't know what this says, but you can see that you get different points here. There's rankings. Obviously, you can get up to level 100 on this. So that must be the level cap to start the game, I'm assuming. Don't know for certain, but I'm guessing that based on that footage. So, and I think that's how they probably get paid out based on how that particular fight went. So the next part of this is pretty minor, but see these 4 dots? It zooms out a little bit. I'm expecting this to mean there are going to be 4 servers or 4 regions that you can play and choose from. I say this based off of the update on, they have a new official Discord out there that you can join. There's a community one that I've been a part of, and they just launched their official one as well. And they actually have where it's America West, America East, Europe, and Asia. So I'm guessing that is a specific server setup, and that's probably what they're announcing here. So you're going to want to think about what server you're going to want to be on. That might, for all the friends that you might have made in particular games, that might limit who you can play with a little bit. But it honestly, like, given the way this game's probably going to work, where you're going to want to try to schedule raids or like meetups at the same time, that probably makes a little bit of sense where you kind of got to do that. So I'll definitely miss playing with all my European and Asian friends, but I understand why the game did that, because I just don't... I mean, look, I suppose somebody in the States could, you know, pick Europe as their zone and just play on those times. It's going to be up to that person, right? It just, that part's going to vary. So that's what I anticipate to have for that particular thing. And then again, you can see that on the Discord and understand what it is. And then there was some a little bit more that kind of just showed here. Let's see, it goes into, obviously can't read all that, zooms in again. And then it just talks about 629. I think that was for the pre-registration, I'm guessing, where which if you didn't see earlier today or yesterday, depending when you're watching this video, that's what that was. So pretty sick gameplay. Again, I am stoked for this game. It all looks smooth. I'm really happy based on what I'm seeing. The more and more I see of this game, the more excited I get. Again, I want to try to contain myself. It seems like there's going to be a lot of things to play, to do. We'll see if it's, as grindy as other games we've played. I'm sure there is going to be some grind to it. The question is how often do I need to run a 4v4 or a 10v10 or a 50-person battle royale type? If I have to do, do I have to dedicate 2 to 3 hours a night to do that? Then I'll have to play a little bit more casually. I won't be able to do that. If I have to do it once a week, twice a week, something like that, okay, that's a little bit more doable. If I've got, 30 people in my alliance or my guild, etc., it's like, and we just, some of us do it this day. Hey, I'm doing this. We got 10 people around, or you just, you do a pug or a pickup group as they're called. I don't love those, but maybe you do that. That could work too. There's probably a general chat, social chat, etc. You can join there. So anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up. I'm still really excited to see the Marvel live event tomorrow. I'm sure some of this is going to be there. We know there's going to be additional information. So we'll definitely cover that as well. But anybody who's just dying to get a sneak peek at this, putting this out there tonight so you can check it out. So as I mentioned before, there's a Discord link in the description below if you want to follow along for future content. It's simpler to go there. I tag people when I put videos out, etc. Also, it helps follow along for the giveaway as we get to 10,000 subscribers. Like I mentioned, comment below for that. Hammer down on that like button, click the notification bell, and of course, subscribe as well. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.